Hello, and welcome to the movie universe. I'm your host, Movie Fan. Today, I'll be talking about my first war movie, PT109. For those of you who don't know PT109, it's actually the story about John F. Kennedy and his daring rescue from one of the islands after being sunk by a Japanese destroyer. So, this movie is based on a true story, and quite surprisingly, it's very accurate. The story starts off with John Kennedy coming down to the South Pacific, wanting to pilot a PT boat. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a small boat made out of wood that carries torpedoes and other machine guns and armed devices. They are very fast, and they just run around sinking destroyers and merchant ships and anything they can find. They just drive up, fire their torpedoes, and run. And Kennedy does get his PT boat, a wreck named the 109. He gets a skeleton crew, they fix it up, they make it shipshape, and they start doing missions. They go to various islands, they shoot down Japanese planes, they even cover the Marines when they're escaping from an island. They even save quite a few of them themselves. And while you're watching all this, you're really taken in by what's going on during the whole battle, because this is one of the few films that actually shows you PT boats. Because ironically, there are very few movies about them. The only other film that I know of is They Are Expendable, starring John Wayne. But getting back on track, they're doing great missions. We're even learning about an Australian coast watcher. His job is to watch the Tokyo Express and report as to where they're moving, how much ships are going through, all that stuff. And during one fateful mission, they're out to try to attack the Tokyo Express, and a Japanese destroyer rams the 109, cutting her right in half. And for the rest of the film, Kennedy is trying everything he can to save his men. He already lost 2 of them because of what happened. They were washed out to sea, burned up, drowned. We'll never know because they were never seen or heard from again. That's all there is to say. In order to save his men, they swim to a small island that is uninhabited, and they stay there. However, the little island was deserted and surrounded by Japanese. So in the cover of nightfall, he led his men to another island that was uninhabited by the Japanese and would give them a better chance of being found. And they were found by 2 natives. And here's where the story takes a very interesting turn. The natives do not speak English, and out of desperation, they try to send a message to the nearest base. They grab a coconut and they carve an SOS. The natives take the coconut, but they don't take it to the base. Instead, they take it to the Australian coast watcher who they work for, and he in turn sends a message to the nearest base. And in no time after, Kennedy and his men are saved. And that's the story. What makes it so awesome is every bit of that was absolutely true. The whole act of heroism, everything. It was completely true. It all really happened. And that's one of the things that makes this movie so great. It's so accurate. It's almost as if John F. Kennedy himself was telling the story. The character portrayal is spot on. In fact, many people describe Kennedy as being that great hero. Everything is accurate down to the last detail, from how the ship was cut in half to how Kennedy saved his men. And of course, you had the battles beforehand where you see the 109 in action. If you haven't seen this film, you should. If you love a good heroic story, this is definitely one you should look up. I know you'll like it. This is Movie Fan, signing off.